Our world looks very different than it did a few short weeks ago. Things that seemed so secure last month seem a lot less sure now. But every challenge has seeds of opportunity inside it. And this crisis is no different. Now is the time to lean in. I've been through crises before. I know that first you survive and then you thrive. Hi there, I'm Leonard Payne. Despite all the problems we're having, it's not all doom and gloom. In the midst of it all, there are some sectors of the economy that are quite thriving. One can look at, for example, local shops, food shops, and it's not just hand cleanser and toilet rolls. Food is a big thing because people have still got to eat, and if you can't go out to restaurants, you're going to eat at home, obviously. Even though some of the shelves have been a little bit empty, things are getting a little bit better, certainly in our stores, not so empty. People are not panicking as much. Also a big thing is delivery boxes. Now I use a company in the UK called HelloFresh, also another company called Gusto, and what they do is that they send food to you. They send boxes with recipes, 4 or 5 recipes per week, and they do all the shopping for you. So all of the food is in the box, ready for you to chop up and cook. Interestingly, if you only need a teaspoonful of paprika, that's what they send you, nothing else at all. All kinds of delivery boxes, subscription boxes, good area to be in. They are thriving at the moment because people are stuck at home. Now there's only another area that's getting big is education at home, new skills to learn, new things to discover. Those are selling big at the moment there because people are stuck at home. There's just so much Netflix you can watch. Although my dear wife and I have been binge watching lots of series of spooks. It's called MI5 in America. Fantastic series anyway. But the thing I think that I want to draw to your attention is that when this is over, and it will be over, things will not be the same. There are certainly some areas that you can explore now, even in the midst of it, in order to do some business. But when it's all over, your existing businesses will not be the same. Much more is going to be online. Much more is going to be done on the web. So don't miss the ball, that point. Don't take your eye off the ball. I remember a story of an English farmer who had a small farm, I think 30 hectares or 30 acres, whatever it was, and he was visited by a Texan rancher who said, "How big is your farm, boy?" And the English farmer said, "Oh boy, it's about 30 acres. And the Texan farmer said, "Well, my ranch is so big, I can get in my car in the morning and I still haven't reached the end of it by the end of the day." And the English farmer said, "Oh boy, I had a car like that once." He'd totally missed the point. And so don't miss the point about what the future will hold. Let me show and explore with you a kind of flow chart that will show a way through this present crisis and how to recover from it. Okay, so this is the rough flow chart of how we need to recover after COVID-19 in our business. We start off with exit lockdown. Assume there's going to be some day somewhere when we actually escape from this mess. And then we need to review the existing backup. Now, a lot of large companies and even small to medium enterprises have had some backup plans. Maybe they're operating from different premises or operating from home. There's always disaster scenarios. But it may well be that you're a company that or a shop that hasn't managed to do that. But if you have, you need to review what your existing backups are and how to recover from those. Next, there needs to be looking at what financial assistance is available. All governments, and in the United States, the states have got some kind of financial assistance plans for companies and small businesses. Another thing you need to consider is your website and or your blog. Now, I'm assuming that most people, most businesses have some kind of website, but if you haven't, it really is time to have one. And then you need to take a look at your list. You must have a list somewhere. For some companies, some businesses like gyms, then there will be a membership list there. But a lot of other companies don't have a list. It will be time for you to get a list together because the money is in the list. You should also consider direct mail as well. Pieces of post sent out with some kind of offer. You then need to be thinking about what your USP is. Every firm should have one. Your special thing that makes you unique, your unique selling point. Consider video marketing. You don't need to be online yourself. It can all be done with presentations, but there should be some kind of video marketing in place for your business. Consider press releases. Consider a radio talk show. It's quite easy to record something, and I'll show you how. You need to be thinking about Facebook fan pages. I know lots of firms have fan pages on Facebook, and it's a good way of communicating with your existing customers or your prospective customers. You need to look at local campaigns. It's important to know how you are viewed locally. Google My Business is extremely important for this. You need to increase prices. Now that might be counterintuitive, but believe me, it's important. And I can show you through spreadsheets how decreasing prices will bankrupt you. You actually need to increase prices at a time like this. Everyone who's involved in any kind of sales should have some kind of training. You need to beef that up a bit. And finally, for this segment, you need to be looking at incoming calls. You do not really want to have recorded things where you're actually just recording these calls coming in there. You need to have a good system for handling incoming calls. Consider a call center or something like that. They need to be answered straight away. Now, that's not it all. I'm sure there's lots of other things that you could consider in recovery, but these things should be there in place. These should be fairly standard, and we'll be looking at those in greater detail. Well, there's the headlines. In that chart there you saw the major components. Now, as I said, there's a lot more. I'm sure there's going to be huge numbers of things that I've left out, but those are the basic building blocks you need to grab hold of in order to recover from this coronavirus epidemic in your business there. What I'm going to be doing over the next 10 days is to actually highlight 3 of the areas and explode them out so you can see precisely what needs to be done. And those workshops are going to be totally free of charge. Now, in addition, I'd like to send you a complete chart of the areas that could be covered in your recovery process. Now, you saw some of them on that chart that I showed you a few minutes ago. On this new chart, I've exploded them out quite a bit, and I want to send you a free copy of that chart. And if you click the button there, I'll make sure that you get it. Now, you may say, why am I giving that free of charge? Well, a number of things could happen. You could take it and you could implement these things and start your own recovery in your business, risk recovery from coronavirus. And what I want to say is all the best. I hope it goes well for you. The other thing that could happen, you could join our mastermind group, which is restricted to 10 people only, 10 companies only. Our mastermind group, where I shall be going through each of the areas over 90-day period that will actually show you, hold your hand if you like, as you implement them yourselves. Or the third way forward, you could ask us to do it for you, but that's for another day. In the meantime, as I said, this chart is free and these workshops over the next 10 days are free. So let me just show you what the chart looks like, shall I? So here we are. This is the COVID-19 business recovery plan in full Technicolor. There you go. And we look at the various areas: increased prices, video marketing, radio talk show, the money's in the list. We take a look at lists there, and each of these areas have been exploded, as you can see, into various other areas. And during the 10-day free workshop, we're going to be looking at 3 of these areas and how those are exploded outwards. Certainly in our 90-day mastermind group, we're going to be looking at everything, and these will be exploded even more as I hold your hand. But all you need to do is to click the jolly old button, and I'll get a copy of this to you by immediate email, and I'll keep you informed as and when these 10-day workshops up and running. So there you go. Fascinating, isn't it? Anyway, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the workshop. So click the button, get your free copy of the plan, and I'll keep you informed as we go. Take care.